love that girl. I love that hair. I want her hair.
You're a pirate.
Can I buy your hair? I'll pay you millions for
What
that.
were you going to tell the president?
Wow. I vote for you.
How does he do it? How does he remain creepy even when in a setting such as this? On the golf course,
You gave me so much. How did I do with the debate the other night?
Oh,
He
Amazing.
kicked that old broken down pile of crap.
Yeah.
It's a bad guy. He just quit, you know. He's quitting the race.
Is that right?
Yep, I got him out of the race. And that means we have Kamala. I think she's going to be better. She's so bad. She's so pathetic.
It's so amazing.
It's just so bad. So,
I just can't imagine.
but can you imagine that guy with dealing with Putin and the president of China, who's a fierce person? He's a fierce man, a very tough guy. And they see him. They probably they can't. But they just announced he's probably quitting.
Good.
Very good.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You just keep knocking him out, right?
Thank you.
and specifically golf carts, well, they have caused him problems in the past, from being caught on a video disparaging his future opponent, Kamala Harris, to viewing golf as an exercise, though he has been shown to never walk the courses, only drive them.
I work out on occasion. You do? As little as possible.
This, driving all over the green at Trump National Golf Club in New Jersey. That is a major no-no for anyone who knows the game. And as you can imagine, the reaction online to this video is a mashup of sports etiquette and politics. So,
And of course, the game he loves so near and dear to his heart clearly means nothing by committing a cardinal sin, driving on the greens. The Ringer had a write-up of what is in his cart on any given day. Every one of Trump's most disgusting qualities surfaces in golf, they would write. Racism. When playing golf with sports journalist Rick Riley, Trump handed $100 tips to Chilean course workers and would say, now those guys are Donald Trumps of Chile. You wonder why that one piece of news of many, when Trump was first in office, about Haitians, why would we want immigrants from Haiti? Why would we want people from S-hole countries like that? And then he would go on to say, why don't we have more people coming from Norway and countries like that? What he means is white countries, of course. So am I surprised to hear this? No. Should you be surprised to hear this? No. This is the same man, according to one former employee of his name is John O'Donnell, who worked in the Trump Taj Mahal, would say, I don't want black people counting my money. I want those little guys with yarmulkes counting my money. O'Donnell would also say that he would order his workers off of the floor because Trump and his ex-wife, now deceased, Ivana, did not want to see them on the floor. It all tracks with who this man is. More from The Ringer. Ecological terror. A caddy would tell Rick Riley that Trump's golf cart once contained a can of red spray paint. Why? Because Trump would mark trees that he hit with his golf balls, and he would put a big red X on them. And the trees would be removed, of course, the next day. It's the old adage, if you can't beat them, join them. Or if you need a better shot, remove them. It is diabolical the way this man operates. And I think that is why Rick Riley's book is so good. It's because, much like Jeff Pearlman's book, Football for a Buck, explaining the United States Football League, both of them are still relevant today because obviously we have this figure, but sports and the way he conducts himself inside of a certain sport, it clearly illustrates who he is, the lack of morality and ethics he has, and how he will do anything to just be a little further ahead. And what does that mean? Using people, taking advantage of the systems, offsetting some of the costs so others take care of it, cheating. and hoping that it leads to wins. That there is no better way, and if you read those books, you will see it. But here's the thing. To go back to the first video, maybe his infatuation with hair is because of a recent report that he is going bald. Remember when he was on the plane with Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Elon Musk, Donald Trump Jr., Mike Johnson, some of Elon's staffers, I'm sure some of the other staffers who work for their, respective oligarchs as well. And we saw this photo, not of RFK allegedly eating McDonald's, which some equated to feeling like it was a mafia scene to make sure that he was down for the cause by eating something so unhealthy, even though, in my view, he's taking steroids. But it was this. It was the photos of Trump that surfaced. And many were saying that there is a lack of hair follicles on top of his head. In another photo that one Musk employee would even post, it led many to question just that. Users on Elon's free speech platform would start zooming in and they would have a field day.
I have a hunch that Trump knew that in his early 30s he was at more and more risk for losing hair. And to camouflage that he had hair loss, he tried to change how he combed his hair so that he could camouflage the frontal temporal recession that he was experiencing. No one could really tell from these photos, and that's what he was trying to accomplish. But clearly, we know what's going on if you're watching this video. Now at the age of 32, we see something very interesting. His hairline is lower than it was when he was younger, and it's straight. It doesn't have that irregular look to it, which would normally be completely normal. A straight hairline is not something you really want to see. And it's at this point that I really think that he had his first hair transplant.
Dr. Joel Kopelman has a theory on Trump's hair over the years.
In the early 1990s, you can notice that Trump continues to have frontal temporal regression. But if you look closely at this photo, you can also notice that there's some scarring. And this makes me think at this stage, he probably had another hair transplant. In this case, I think he had a rotational flap.
The doc suggests in his video that Trump not only had one hair transplant, or two.
In 2002, we see Trump's frontal temporal recession is almost gone in the pictures. And so this makes me think he likely had what's called an FUT hair transplant procedure. This would be his third hair transplant.
Or three.
He went from having thin hair, and then around 2010, 2011, we start to notice his hair density gets thick again. And it's at this point that I believe he actually had his fourth hair transplant. Yes, fourth hair transplant.
Look, don't take it from me. Take it from the doc. This isn't really that big of a surprise because if you read journalist Sarah Kenzier's book, she talks about this as well. It was also mentioned, I believe, in the movie that Donald Trump and his team did not want to see the light of day, The Apprentice, where they talked about a hair transplant. Not sure if it made the final cut, but I saw a report on it. So this isn't really all that surprising, especially when you look at how his hair and his hairline have evolved over the years. It's actually quite obvious because no man who is bordering 80 has hair like that or looks like that. It reminds me of Sheldon Adelson, the late billionaire whose wife Miriam gave millions upon millions of dollars to the Trump administration because she wants to have a seat at the table when it comes to Israel. They are staunch Zionists. And if you look at Sheldon Adelson, what was on top of his head, it is very, very similar to Donald Trump. It's also very similar to Fred Trump. It could actually be the only similarity they had because we have heard many, many times about the disdain, it appears, that Fred had for Donald. So I think it all tracks. Really, I think it does. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.